Hi there. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Minding Your Business with Leke Alder. I am Leke Alder, and it's nice to meet you again. What a lovely evening this is going to be. We're going to share business knowledge, solve problems, answer your questions, and I'm going to give out another gift this week to a lucky caller. The gift for this week is my book, The Great Alchemy: How to Convert Problems into Business. It has a business plan CD template inside. There's a business plan CD inside it. Let's see who's going to win it today. And thank you for those lovely mails, texts, and prayers. What can I say? Last week, we examined the entrepreneurial mindset with regard to adverse circumstances of life. We examined the question, what do you do when you lose your job? We learned that we must not resign ourselves to fate. We cannot give up. We must reboot and restart and do something. Either we get another job or we start a business. Needs abound around us, and as long as there are needs, there are business opportunities. We also noted that we need to be humble. Without humility, we may not see the opportunities around us. Today, we're going to take things a little further. We're going to examine business ideas. The title for this episode is, Hello, Sir, I Have a Business Idea. Let me begin by telling you a little something about ideas. Ideas are very funny creatures. We do know from the evidence around us that they tend to appeal to two or more people at the same time. That's why two people can have the same idea. They will go with the man or woman who takes them seriously enough and is willing to commit his life to them. Ideas need bodily hosts to propagate themselves on the face of the earth, and humans are the perfect incubators. When an idea takes hold of you, it takes total control of your organs and faculties. It colonizes your life, driving you to sleeplessness until you give birth to the idea. After giving birth, you must nurture the idea until it is old enough to stand on its own. And then a curious thing happens. The idea begins to show gratitude by giving you wealth, fame, identity, and influence. But ideas are very sensitive too. Once they sense that you are not serious with them, they abandon you and go look for someone else to bless. You may say that they are arrogant, but I would rather say that they have self-assurance and are supremely confident. Ideas know their worth. An idea, any idea, is worth a fortune. Who would have thought that a simple software code that nobody took seriously, including the top executives at IBM, will eventually turn a then 20-year-old boy into the richest man in the world barely 21 years after? Bill Gates today has an estimated fortune of $53 billion. And so ideas are not just ideas. Ideas are capital. Many are ignorant of this simple fact, and so they treat ideas with levity. How many times have you caught yourself buying something you probably thought about first, but never executed? There's a quaint Nigerian expression, and I had that idea, Yes, you had that idea, but you trivialized it, and now you are paying for it, literally. Not only are you paying for it, you're also losing money because you are not making money from the idea. Someone else is making the money. Congratulations. At the beginning, nobody really has a complete blueprint of any idea. We all simply have an idea about an idea. That's where everybody starts. It's also where many people falter. Many rush out and start bragging when they have an idea about an idea. But that braggadocio eventually costs them, because not having thought through on the idea, they set themselves up for discouragement at the slightest critic, and they soon abandon the idea. Discouragement leads to idea abandonment. Don't rush out when you have an idea about an idea. You still have some way to go before you tell a soul, and you have your work cut out for you. You have to meditate on the idea. Chew it like a cud until you begin to see the way into the future, your future. If you don't spend time cogitating on the idea, you will not develop conviction and you can easily be talked out of it. A cursory remark like, "Oh, so how will this work?" or "It can't work," can be so discouraging it leads to abandonment. Now, the fact that you don't know how something will work does not mean it's a bad idea. It just means you've not thought through and that you need help. When an idea is well thought out, people will respect you and then admire you. They may indeed want to invest in it. Of course, you look smart at that time. But if you try to look smart prematurely by rushing out to blab out about your idea, you will end up looking stupid. And you might have wasted a high-level access to important people. Every idea has tons of challenges. You have to work out those challenges in your head before you launch the idea into a business. If you launch without thinking through, you will pay what is technically referred to as failure cost. Failure cost is the aggregate cost of not doing things right from inception. You may indeed mess up the idea. There are pertinent questions you must ask yourself when working on a business idea. The first and most important question is, what is this idea? Now, that question may sound funny and downright stupid, but it has wrecked many business ventures. Without that question, you may not be able to access the practical value of your idea. In 1999, two professors, Yanis Bakos and Eric Brian Johnson, founded FlexPlay Technologies. The primary product of the FlexPlay Corporation was described as a self-destructing DVD. The disc, quote and unquote, self-destructs after 48 hours upon the opening of the package, and it was pitched to the market as ideal for short rental by video stores. Customers don't need to return rented videos. The video CD is self-destruct, no more late returns. After the initial test marketing, the idea was quickly abandoned. Consumers rejected the idea. The reason was partly because of environmental concerns, but I think that the idea had an inherent self-contradiction. A DVD disc is supposed to be a storage device. That's why FlexPlay came in 4.7 gig and 8.5 gig. Yet all that data will self-destruct in hours. A self-destructing storage facility is conceptually contradictory. And what if I've not had time to watch the movie on the disc? After 48 hours, my money is gone. And so is the opportunity to watch the movie, unless I return to the video store to rent another video. Most people will rather pay extra than be so inconvenienced. Therefore, asking yourself, what is this idea, and resolving any inherent contradictions before launching into the market is critical to business success. Describe your business idea in one simple statement. If you cannot define your idea in one sentence, how is anybody supposed to understand it? You are not always going to be available to make an explanation. And if you have to explain a product so much, maybe you need to take a second look at it. There are other questions you must ask, and I'll give you just 25 more. 1. What is your product or service for? 2. Who needs it? 3. Who will pay for it? 4. Why will anyone pay for it? 5. Why will anyone refuse to pay for it? 6. Are there credible alternatives to this idea? 7. How does it work? 8. Is it easy to understand? 9. Is it easy to use? 10. When will it be used? 11. How will it be used? 12. How much will people be willing to pay for it? 13. What are the indirect benefits associated with the idea? 14. What are the negatives associated with the idea? 15. Is the idea repugnant to public morality? 16. Is it illegal? 17. Has it been tried before? If yes, why did it fail? 18. If the idea has been successfully tried, why will anyone want to buy your variation of the idea? 19. How will the idea be packaged? 20. What name will you call it? 21. How easily understood is the name? 22. How easy is it to pronounce? That is the name. 23. How will it be sold? 24. Where will it be sold? 25. Will you buy it? Questions, questions, questions. Now, that last question is terribly important, and I'll ask it again. Will you buy your product or service? About 2 weeks ago, I was invited to speak at a business seminar. My co-speaker was a senior friend, and he narrated a very interesting story. As a student in England, he had spent time and fortune developing a concept chair. He was mightily convinced that this chair would make him a millionaire 1,000,000 times over. And so he poured all he had into developing it. He designed a logo, a brochure, and other marketing materials. One day, a friend of his casually asked him a simple question. Will you buy this chair? He was shocked to realize that in truth, he would never buy his own chair. If you don't have faith in your product, how are you going to persuade others to buy? And with that interesting story, we end our teaching this week. Next week, we shall be talking about vision. From this episode, I'm going to innovate something on this program. I'm going to give you a thought for the week. And the thought for this week is, if you won't buy it, don't attempt to sell it. Thank you.
Mr. Leke Alder would like to hear from you. His email address is leke@lekealder.com. That is Leke, Leke @lekealder, LEKEALDER.com. Twitter is Leke_Alder. Facebook group name is Leke Alder on Facebook. And website is www.lekealder.com. Thank you.
There's a whole world out there waiting to be conquered, waiting for you. There's a height way up there for you to attain. If you just believe. Do you believe? I can be the captain of the sail, become the queen in my own castle. I can be commander in my army, ride my stagecoach through the skies. I'll be the best that I can be, unleash the champion deep within. I will be me.